Kaya ako bawal sa tumayo at kunin natin ating mga Biblia. And can you open it to Nehemiah? So, dito po sa buong chapter 4 ay ating pong pagbubulayan. At ang ating pinakasusunod talata ay yung po sa chapter 6. So kung maaari, lagay nyo ng marka at isa-save po natin yan. Pero tayo masyadong gabihin ngayon. Pero ang ating pong babasahin at ating key verses ay sa chapter number 6. Isa natin sa verse 3, tapos tataw tayo tungo sa verses 15 and 16. So Nehemiah chapter number 6, verse 3, and verses 15 to 16. At gaya ng ating inimbisang gawin, nagkaroon tayo ng lockdown at through online tayo po nag-service, ay hinaan niya ako ang bawat isa na ako'y sabayan sa pagbabasa ng mga nabanggit na talata. Maging kayo nasa inyong mga tahanan at lalo na kayong mga narito sa ating bahay-sambahan. At nabasahin natin ng malinaw, malakas, maayos, may pagbubulay at may paggalang ang salita natin, Panginoon. So kung nandiyan na po kayo, Nehemiah chapter number 6, verse number 3, tapos ilist di pa tayo verses 15 to 16. Okay? Reading begins. And I sent messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease? Whilst I leave it and come down to you? 15. So the wall was finished in the 25th day of the month Elul, in 52 days. And it came to pass that when all our enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, they were much cast down in their own eyes, for they perceived that this word was word of our God. So malakas sa amen sa word of God, amen? Amen. So from this ay pag-usapan po natin yung mensahe, may pamagat. We don't need to be afraid. We must trust the Lord. Okay? Maya pagwarag natin ba halos dito yung ating mga messages. Pero bago tayo magpatuloy, tayo po muna. Mas mari na po kayong makaupo. So, dahil mahaba po yung chapter 4, ay atin na lang pong tutunghayan sa pagtakbo po ng ating mensahe. Kagaya ng nabanggit, ay pinamagatan po natin, we don't need to be afraid. We must trust the Lord. Now, bakit po? Laging ganito yung ating mga paksa. Ito po yung ating kailangan sa mga panahon ito. No? Ito po, kailangan na tayo po ay magabayan kung paano natin harapin ang patuloy nating nararanasang sitwasyon, bagamat nag-i-improve na. Okay? At dahil sa ganitong mga sitwasyon, ang dyablo ay malimit na umatake sa ating mga Kristiyano gamit ang dalawang sandata. Na ito ay parehong very effective na ginagamit niya in stopping believers, in stopping us from productive living. Kung pigilan tayo na maging produktibo, mabunga sa ating pamumuhay Kristiyano, lalo na sa ganitong sitwasyon. At ano itong dalawang ito na malimit na ginagamit niyang sandata at epektibo na nagagamit niya sa maraming taon paging sa mga Kristiyano. Una ay yung discouragement at pangalawa ay yung fear, yung takot. And in some ways, ang dalawa pong ito ay magkasamang magkatulong na gumagawa, no? Magkatulong na nagagamit ng dyablo. Kasi, di ba, fear usually develops from discouragement. Ang discouragement ay eventually pwedeng magdulot ng takot, and discouragement feeds more fear. So yung discouragement ay lalo pang nagpapalakas ng takot sa isang tao at maging kahit sa mga Kristiyano. So the strongest battles we will face as a Christian will not be the actual circumstances that come into our life, as much as it will be the way we respond to those situations. Hindi talaga yung hindi talaga problema at Papanig, wala talaga dun sa pandemic, sa lockdown, sa quarantine, okay? At sa iba pang mga naging dinulot na problema nito, kundi kung paano tayo tumugon sa kasalukuyang ito, kung paano tayo mag-respond sa ating circumstantial nararanasan. Sabi nga, a worn down saint is legal threat to the devil and evil in this world. So pag ikaw ay discouraged at ikaw ay may takot, kaya ito gusto mangyari ng Diablo, no? Na maging damdamin at maging respond natin sa mga sitwasyon katulad ng ating kalagayan, ay alam niya na tayo ay hindi magiging threat sa kanya pong mga masasamang layunin sa mundong ito. So gusto niya tayong ma-discourage, gusto niya tayong pagharian ng takot. And here are some of the things that can wear down the saints. Una, yung sense of insignificance. Sabihin niya that you're nobody, you're very unimportant, you don't make a difference. O kaya yung apparent unfruitfulness. With the emphasis on the word apparent unfruitfulness. Nagiging din yung sustained temptations often wear down a Christian. So yung paulit-ulit na yung tukso na yun, yung tukso na yun kung saan ka mahina, at kahit minsan na pagtagumpayan mo na, ay muli, ikaw ay tutuksuhin doon, at may pagkakato na maaaring sa pag-ulit ng tukso, ikaw ay that time, hindi ka magtagumpay, and that will discourage you more. No? Yung sustained temptations. And of course, human weakness is a major factor also. Dahil tayo rin ay meron tayong na tiring point, meron tayong limitation. There is also what we call strife and discord in relationships, and this can wear down Christians. Hindi pagkakasundo sa pamilya, lalo na kung may unbeliever sa pamilya, na ito yung nagiging problema ng pamilya, unbeliever yung asawa, unbeliever yung magulang, na maaaring humadlang sa iyong paglilingkod sa Panginoon, o unbeliever yung anak, kahit anak, o hindi pagkakasundo ng mag-asawa, ng kapatid, ng kamag-anak, eh lalo na kung hindi nakakasundo ang mga kapatiran sa iglesia. Ito ay mga bagay na maaaring maging daan upang ma-discourage ang isang tao, isang Kristiyano, at humantong sa pag-aalinlangan sa Diyos. Suffocating pressures of personal needs leads to discouragement also. And then fear, which often results in a lack of faith. So wala ng trabaho. Ang daming babayaran. Hindi makahanap ng panibagong trabaho. Kaya naiintindihan natin yung ating mga kababayan. Yung mga jeepney driver, at yung iba pa, yung mga OFW, so talagang natutuliro. So, at may pressure. Yung mga hindi nakabayad ng bahay, pinalayas pa. Di ba? So, yung mga hindi nakabayad ng kuryente, pinaputulan pa. Napakarami ng mga pressures that suffocate a person, suffocate a Christian, even a Christian. So sa mensahe kong ito ay nice nating sagutin yung katanungan, how do we fight discouragement which leads to fear, which eventually creates unfruitfulness. Hindi tayo magiging productive, hindi tayo magiging effective witness for Christ, o hindi tayo magiging useful for the kingdom of God. Okay? Ano ang ating dapat gawin? Paano natin lalabanan itong discouragement? Daw si Nehemiah, yung aklat na ito, sa ating pong teksto, lagay ko, pamilya naman kayo, no? Ano ba yung pinutos ng Diyos kay Nehemiah? Kaya Nehemiah na gawin. At ito nga yung to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. At naging madali ba yun? Providensya ng Diyos, diba, pinahintulutan siya nung kanyang pinaglilingkuran. At bilang cupbearer, tinulungan pa siya at may mga nakuha siya mga kasangkapan para i-rebuild yung walls of Jerusalem. Pero nung sila nga po yung nag-umpisa lang gumawa, ay dito na po dumating yung mga problema. Dito na po dumating yung mga pang-discourage, pananakot. Dito na dumating yung hadlang. Nakikinig po. At dito po sa ating passage, nilibay sa atin several principles na kung ating pong susundin, this will frustrate the enemy from defeating us, and this will keep us fruitful for God's kingdom. These are basic steps. Basic lang po ito. No? That every Christian should memorize and practice kapag tayo po ay umaharap sa discouragement at sa takot. So, importante po that we memorize these steps and we practice them as well. Not just to memorize them, but also especially to practice them. So, ano po ang central idea ng ating mensahe ngayong gabi nito? Ito po, yung tungkol sa tinuturo sa atin ng Bible na hindi tayo helpless. We are not helpless when discouragement hits. Hindi ba because there are steps the Bible gave us that we can take and that will allow us to be victorious in the midst of discouragement and fear. So, yun nga, we don't need to be afraid. What we really needed is to trust the Lord. We must trust the Lord. Hindi natin kailangan matakot, maglupaypay. Ang tunay natin kailangan ay patuloy na magtiwala sa Diyos. So first of all, ay dito po sa chapter 4, sabi ko sa inyo, yung buong chapter 4, ang pinaka magbubulay-bulayan natin, eh, siyempre kasama na yung ating key verses. What we have in verses 1 to 6 are, una, our focus must be clear. Our focus must be clear. So, tingnan niyo po sa Bible niyo. Ako po may open ng mga nasabing talata at babasahin ko. Verses 1 to 6, but it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth and took great indignation and mocked the Jews. And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? Will they rebuy the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burned? Now Tobiah, the Ammonite, was with him. And he said to Tobiah, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone wall. Then in verse 4, hear, O our God, si Nehemiah po ito, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the land of captivity. And cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. Verse 6, so built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof. Nakamabot na sa kalahati nung wall yung kanilang tatayo. Okay? For the people had a mind to work. The people had a mind to work. So take notice first of all in verses 1 to 3, yung strategies of fear. No, dito po, si Sanballat, nabasa natin, he was wroth nung malaman niya na itinatayo uli yung walls of Jerusalem. He took it with great indignation and he mocked the Jews. Tapos, sa verse 3, nakita natin, si Tobiah rin ay kaduwet niya. Si Tobiah rin kakampi niya sa paghahasik ng takot sa mga Hudyo sa kanilang pagtatayo muli, pag-repair ng walls of Jerusalem. So ano po ang makita, ang dapat natin matutunan? Ugnay nito, no? Strategies of fear. Ano ba ang strategies of fear? Ang strategy po ng fear, it starts out with ridicule or discouragement. Yan po nag-umpisa yan, yung pang-iinsulto, pagkudya, at eventually ay pang-hihina ng loob. Pagkawala ng lakas ng loob, di ba? Courage, ano yan eh, tapang yan eh. And merong this, negative, na wala yung tapang o lakas ng loob. At masinin natin that Sanballat and his friends ay how they ridicule Israel for their plans to rebuild the wall around Jerusalem. Ang wall that had sat in rubble for about 100 years. 100 taon na ito ay wasak, ito ay sira. At walang nagtangka na ito ay i-repair. At nung meron, ito nga, the enemy doesn't like to see God's people making progress. So, ridicule is a favorite tool to breed discouragement, which will ultimately lead to fear, and when full-blown, leads to fruitlessness and paralysis. Yun ang habol niya. I-discourage, natin napunta sa pagkatakot, at dahil sa pagkatakot ay hindi natatapos yung gawain. Hindi magtatagumpay yung gawain, yung ginagawa para sa Panginoon, na dinescribe pa rito na great work. Binasa natin sa ating teksto. No? They are doing a great work. Ang gawain po ng Panginoon ay laging great work yan. Okay? Great work. Na hindi dapat pabayaan at hindi dapat ipinagpapalit sa iba. So, pansinin din natin that the enemy really works alone. Hindi yan basta nagtatrabaho o gumagawa kontra sa gawain ng Diyos na nag-iisa. Okay? Dahil si Sanballat, he doesn't ridicule Israel alone. He has a company. Sino yun? Si Tobiah. Okay? At siyempre, meron pang iba. Pero ito yung mga leader na nang-discourage, nang-iinsulto sa Israel, no? Sa mga Israelitas, into rebuild the wall. Okay? So, ano pong lesson, isa pang lesson makuha natin dyan? Misery loves company. Now, some people are so miserable that they want to drag others into their misery, or to make others as miserable as them, or even more miserable than them. Ganyan po ang utak ng mga hindi maka-Diyos na tao, ng mga kalaban ng Diyos. Gusto nilang hatakin, pababa sa nilang miserable kalagayan. So, favorite tactic or strategy of fear ay ipakita, alabasin na you are weak in the presence of an apparent stronger enemy. Kaya si Sanballat and his friends with their army, pinakita na, marami kami, malakas kami, kayo mahina. Lalo pa na matagal na silang, kaya sila nag-react dito kasi ilang-ilang nila yung lugar na yun eh. Ginawa na nilang teritoryo yun. At alam nila, na pag nabalik na-restore uli yung walls, ay eventually ay aakilin uli ng mga Hudyo yun. In the first place, sila mismo nakakabatid na pagmamayari talaga ito, legal right ito ng mga Hudyo. So, hindi sila handa ng biglang ang Israel ay nagpasimulang magtrabaho samantalang matagal na silang nakatira doon. No? So, medyo familiar tayo dito, nakikita natin yung mga reaksyon ng mga squatters eh. Diba, anong ginagawa? Nagbabarricade, nagbabato, naggugulo, pinipigilan. Na sa pag-oras na, ng totoong may-ari ang kinin yung lupa. Sila pa yung galit. Sila na nga inaangkin, sila yung matagal na nakatira, sila pa yung galit. At buti pa nga sa batas natin dito ay papalisin mo yung mga informal settlers ay itong tawaging squatters para medyo, di ba, medyo maganda, bigati ng dating informal settlers ay kailangan merong relocation area pa. Na iba ay professional squatters, bakit? Pagkatapos i-renovate doon, ibibenta, spot ulit. No? Squatters ay they can't afford. Naalala ko nung nagbabay ko sa Alipamid dyan sa reclamation, yung visitation, gugulat ka eh. Kubong bahay, may kotse, order yung TV, mga squatters yun. But, professional squatters. At nung papalisin na, ayan, nakakagulo. Bibira yung walang kaguluhan eh. So parang ganito, mapipicture natin, no? Bakit ganun reaksyon nila? Sila yung mga squatter ng lugar na yon. At ito, hindi sila nakahanda, biglang aangkinin uli ng tunay na may-ari. So yung reaksyon ng mga squatter ay hindi man lahat, no? Ay hindi pala bago yan. Nangyari na noona at nangyari dito sa kasaysayan ng rebuilding of the wall of Jerusalem sa aklat ni Nehemiah. Nandiyan po kayo. So the Jews, however, had been given legal right to come back and build. So the only thing the enemy can use is discouragement and fear as a weapon to stop them. So pag narinig yung mga kumukontra mga squatters, sabihin, magkakamatayan kami! Dagano ka tungkol dito. So in a way, ideally discouraged, no? Yung mga totoong may-ari, yan ang picture dito eh. Kuha eh. So ganoon din ginagawa nitong mga kasama ni Sambalat ng kanyang mga kaibigan, kanyang army. Okay? Alam nila legal, yung hari nagbigay ng otorisasyon, mataas ang posisyon, nagbigay ng otorisasyon para ibalik sa Israel at i-rebuild yung walls. Ang tanging kanilang magagawa is i-discourage sila at takutin. Pansinin natin mga kapatid that another tool of the enemy is to attempt to exaggerate the problem in an attempt to get God's people to believe that they are ridiculous for making any attempt at doing something positive. Lala ko nung tayo nag-umpisa rito, di ba? Yan ang ginagawa ng iba. They even attempted to petition us. Tapos, di-discourage yung mga kamag-anak. At sinasabi na, hindi kayo makakapag-komunyon, hindi kayo maililibing sa sementeryo, hindi kayo mabasbasa ni Father. Okay? At sabihin ako, di magtatagal yan. Dahil gaya nung naipabatid sa akin, hindi ko naman nasaksiyan yung maraming nauna sa atin na hindi rin nagtagal sa lugar na ito. Hindi pa tao iba sa inyo. So, ang ibig sabihin po rito, no? Yan po yan, i-exaggerate yung problem. Ganyan po ang ginagawa ng Diablo. Sabi po dyan, will they fortify themselves? Kaya ba nila yan? Ang laki ng trabaho, the task was huge. Kakayanin pa nila yan? Will they sacrifice? May pera ba sila para tustusan yan? Mahihirap lang kayo. Wala kayong pera. And will they make an end in a day? Gano'ng matagal yung katapusin yan? Kaya niyo bang tapusin agad yan? Mahirap yan. No? Matagal na trabaho yan. And, binanggit pa dyan sa mga talatang ating binasa, nawa, nagbasa nga rin kayo, will they revive the stones out of the heaps and the rubbish which are burned? So itong stones that were made of limestone and subjected to fire easily crumble and cracks. So pansinin niyo po, no? Yung comment nila about the walls falling nearly 100 years ago because of fire. Because of fire. So, are you still with me? Yeah. Note the tools of the enemy here. Discouragement, fear, at dagdag pa natin isa. Ano yun? Doubt. Pagdududa. Okay? And all these strategies of fear were being employed to keep Israel from doing something positive. These steps are still used by the enemy of our soul to keep us from building our lives up positively and to keep us from building, improving the ministry. Pareho rin ang ginagawang strategies ng kalaban. And since Sambalat and his friends could not legally destroy or stop Israel, they would attempt to keep them weak and unfruitful. So hindi tayo kayang saktan ng Diablo, hindi tayo kayang galawin ang walang paintulot ng Panginoon, pero kaya niyang gawin ay bumulong at magpakita ng mga bagay na makaka-discourage sa atin, panatilihin tayong mahina at unfruitful sa ating labor and service for the Lord. So this is often the case with the enemy of our soul. Alam niya na if He can keep us discouraged, afraid, okay, and build our doubts, alam ng Diablo that we will be of little use to God and to His kingdom. So bilang mga mananampalataya, okay, we should not allow, okay, the devil to succeed sa kanyang mga pamamaraan ito. A believer that allows his process to keep them from doing anything will simply sit around, usually unhappy and getting harder in hearts as time goes by. Delikado talaga. Pag inayaan mo, hindi ka naging maingat, at hindi mo ginawa yung dapat gawin, delikado na mauwi ka sa wala ka ng kasiyahan sa Panginoon, hindi ka nagagawa sa Panginoon, at titigas ang puso mo. Anumang preaching gawin sa'yo, anumang panalangin ipamimig pa sa'yo, anumang encouragement, anumang verses pakita sa'yo, ang panganib yan ay titigas ng iyong puso at hindi mo na paniniwalaan ng mga ito. So the less we do, wala tayong ginawa, at tumigil na tayo sa paggawa para sa Panginoon, the harder our hearts can get. Listen, fear cripples us if left unchecked. Fear cripples us if left unchecked. Kagaya nangyari, no? Yung isang araw yung lalaki nagda-drive, tapos napansin niya yung isang supot ng simento na mukhang nahulog mula sa truck o delivery truck ng simento. So, imagine yung simento nahulog sa kalye. So, siyempre, ano yan, di ba, madideform yan. At nakatambak doon. So, naisip nga na itabi, baka makadisgrasya sa iba. Okay, pwede niya kunin. Pero yung palang simento na yun, supot ng simento, sapo ng simento, may ilang araw na palang nandoon. Kasi alam mo yung nagtangka na ito ay, alisin mo ba baka may nagtangka, pero may natuklasan sila. Natuklasan din itong driver na to. Natuklasan niya na matigas na yung supot ng simento. Diba? Ganyan yan eh. Pag yung supot ng simento, yan ay nabasa. Diba? Yan ay napabayaan. At kahit na hindi nabasa, pag hindi mo ginamit yan, what will happen? Titigas yan. Titigas yan. At kung ano yung forma niya, dahil nahulog ng ganon, gano'n ang forma niya permanente. So ano ibig natin sabihin dito? Dahil hindi nagamit yung supot ng simento at gano'n yung kanyang naging kalagayan, hindi man ulam ay yung lamig ng sahig, nagpapatigas sa simento yan. So kung anong shape meron siya sa pagkahulog at hindi natanggal doon at hindi nagamit, yun na ang kanyang shape. Mananatiling na lang. And the longer we sit and use, brothers and sisters, the longer we sit and use, the more our lives shape into an unusable structure. Mas lalong mahuhubog ang katawan natin sa forma, sa kalagayan na hindi kagamit-gamit. Hindi mabuti sa isang Kristiyano na hindi nagagamit ng Diyos, hindi nagagamit sa gawain ng Panginoon, hindi naglilingkod sa Diyos, gumagawa sa Panginoon. Dahil magiging ganyan na ang structure ng iyong pananampalataya at buhay. So the enemy had pointed out all the reasons for the Israelites to be discouraged. Anong sabi niya? They were feeble Jews. Feeble. Mahihirap kayo. Mahihirap kayo at unorganized kayo. Feeble Jews. They were looking at the wall that had been broken for 100 years. Ang tagal ng sirayan. The task is impossible. And they were looking at big sacrifices. Kailangan totally repair yan. Malaking gastos yan. Hindi nyo makayanin yan. So this was not going to be quick project. Sabi ng mga kalaban, will they make an end in a day? Hindi nyo matatapos yan agad. Hindi nyo kakayanin yan. And that's how they taunted Israel. And such are the constant strategies of fear, brothers and sisters. How do we deal with these strategies or tactics? Paano natin harapin ito? Paano natin ito kalabanan? In verses 4 to 6, nandito po yung strategies of faith. So meron ding strategies of faith. Verses 4 to 6. Okay, nabasa natin kanina. Pero sabi ko, hear our God, for we are despised, and turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the land of captivity, and cover not their iniquity, and let not their sin be blotted out from before thee, for they have provoked thee to anger before the builders. So built we the wall, all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. So the number one thing to do is to go to God. Hear, O God! They cried. Rather than sit down and moan over our fears, brothers and sisters, we must face them and tackle them. Nehemiah's starting point is prayer, seeking out God. And notice, the anger. There's anger in Nehemiah's prayer. Ano to eh? Ang tawag natin prayer? Imprecatory, no? Imprecatory prayer. Turn the reproach upon their own head and give them for a prey in the land of captivity, etc., etc. May galit, no? Maintindihan naman natin kung galit dito. Importante. Baka naman yung ating pairali na hindi tamang galit. Dahil merong hindi tamang galit. May galit na tama. Panginoon nga, nagalit, di ba? Tinaboy niya nga yung mga nangangalakal at ginawang yungib ng tulisan. Yung bahay panalaginan, sabi nga, during his earthly ministry. So yung anger ni Nehemiah here, no, ay merong purpose. It will be used by him to refocus their energy and make them even more determined not to give to the enemy, into the enemy. So this is a valid use of fear. However, it must be used to refocus our energy, not to quit. It is not used to attack the enemy. So again, it is not seen to be angry only if we use anger incorrectly. Sabi ng Ephesians 4:26 and 27, be angry and sin not. And don't give way to the devil, sabi. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung galit ni Nehemiah, di ba meron ganun eh, yung ininsulto ka, di ba, hinamak ka. So, parang naggalit ka, nagdamdam ka. Pero ginawa mong tungtungan nyo, papatunayan ko mali kayo. Papatunayan ko mali kayo. So, ginawa niyang puhunan yung paglalait para siya magtagumpay. Ganun ang ginawa ni Nehemiah rito. At in-encourage niya yung mga Israelitas na ganun din ang gawin. Magalit doon sa mga nang-iinsulto na yan, pero hindi yung para sila i-atakihin, balikan ng atake, labanan sila. Pag ganun ginawa natin, wala tayong pinagkaiba sa kanila. Pero ano yung dapat gawin bilang isang mananampalataya? Patunayan sa kanila na mali sila sa kanilang mga paratang laban sa atin. So that's the way to do it. It is the right kind of anger. So Nehemiah, in essence, simply ignores the discouragers. Sabi nga doon sa verse 6, so build we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. Or meaning for the people work with all their heart. Patunayan natin mali sila. Patunayan natin hindi tayo mahina. Patunayan natin na hindi na tayo titigil. Patunayan natin na matatapos natin ito. Patunayan natin na tapat ang Diyos. Kasama natin ang Diyos. So, anger becomes useful here. It motivates Nehemiah to ignore the enemy. And in fact, he used it to get energized to move forward. Listen, faith ignores the enemy's attempts at discouragement. Yan pong nagagawa ng pananampalataya. Hindi pinapansin ang alamang tangka ng pagdi-discourage ng kalaban. And Nehemiah simply ignores all the objections and questions raised and he moves forward. Nehemiah set an example that encourages the others to follow on to the goal. You see? Naging halimbawa siya at nawa tayo ay maging halimbawa sa ibang mananampalataya, sa ibang kapatiran na magpatuloy tayo sa Panginoon. No? Walang dapat katakutan. Di ka nga takot pumasok sa trabaho eh. Takot ka mag-church dahil sa pandemic. Sinong niloko natin? Okay. So there is an important combination here. Ano yun? So Nehemiah went to God first, and Nehemiah starts to work next. Okay? Went to God first, then starts to work next. Faith, in other words, faith combined with action. At pag ganyan po yung ating gagawin, it will surely produce fruitfulness. Magiging mabunga, magiging productive, magiging matagumpay, may resulta, may matatapos. And astonishingly enough, nabanggit ko na, napansin ko sa talata, they get the wall half-built. Hindi naman po yung isang section kundi the whole wall is halfway up. Yung buong wall na yan, natapos sila kalahati. Ito po ang resulta, ang tagumpay ng pananampalataya mixed with action. Sa atin hindi walang pananampalataya, yung sinasabing pananampalataya walang aksyon, kaya walang nangyayari. Kasi sabi ng Bible, katulad lang din yan ng patay. Ang patay walang magagawa, katulad din yan ng baog. Ang baog di manganganak. So ang pananampalataya na walang gawa, ang sabi, hindi magtatagumpay. So ano yung muna natin, first point natin, our focus must be clear. Our focus must be clear. Secondly, our faith must be clear. And we have that in verses 7 to 14. O, babasahin ulit natin. Tungayan nyo lang. Chapter 4, 7 to 14, yung binabasa natin. But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and the Ammonites and the Asdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth and conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it. Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto God and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed, and there is much rubbish, so that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversary said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease. And it came to pass, that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, from all places whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. 13. Therefore said I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, be ye not afraid of them, remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. So nakita po natin una rito, verses 7 to 12, yung persistence of fear, di ba? Kasi ninyo yung persistence of the enemy. Bagaman Israel has quickly reached half their goal, the enemy is not prepared to give up. And notice also, now sino na ang galit? It is the enemy. Una, galit si Nehemiah sa panginsulto nila Pero tama yung pag-handle niya sa pang-insulto at yung galit niya, ginawa niya sa tamang paraan. Ngayon, sino na may galit? Yung kalaban. Baliktad na. Baliktad na. So the enemy's strategy of intimidation had failed. Now it is the enemy who is angry. The enemy now plots together how to increase the pressure to stop Israel. Brothers and sisters, pakinggan niyo po ito. When we respond in faith, listen, it might not make things better right away. The enemy is angrier than ever and will fight them harder now. So, ganyan po yan no? Pag ikaw ay nagtagumpay sa isang tangka ng kalaban, wag mo isipin titigil agad yan. At wag mo isipin na tapos na ang laban. No! Hindi susuko ang kalaban. Ang example yan sa ginawa sa Panginoong Kristo eh. Diba? Nung hindi umubra yung isang tukso, ano ginawa? Tinukso pa uli. Nung hindi pa umubra, tinukso na naman. Pero di ba sinawatan na siya, tumigil na. Tsaka lang siya tumigil. At yung pag-aralan natin ng buong konteksto noon, hindi lamang isang araw ganun ginawa ni Satanas. Kundi sa loob ng 40 araw, ay araw-araw niyang tinutokso ang Panginoon at yung pinakasukdulan na yung huli, pero dumating sa punto na siya ay pinalayas na. Again, hindi ibig sabihin tumigil na. During the earthly ministry of Christ, that's the beginning of His earthly ministry, patuloy siyang tinutokso. Patuloy siyang dinidiscourage. Ganyan po ang kalaban. Mga kapatid, huwag tayong malunod sa konting tagumpay. Huwag tayong magyabang sa konting laurel. Meron tayo. Mga kapatid, hindi rin agad-agad ibig sabihin natatapos ang problema, nasusolusyonan yung problema, natatapos yung laban, natutugon ang pangangailangan, nangyayari yung ating pinanalangin. Hindi. Kahit na tayo ay mag-respond in faith, ang kalaban lalo lang naiinis yan. Lalo lang niyang titindihan at gagawin ang kanyang patuloy na magagawa para ibuyong tayo sa discouragement, sa takot, and eventually to doubt God. To doubt God. They will move from discouragement to outright fear now. Ito mga kalaban ng Israel. Ang plot nila, they plot a plan rather to stir up actual trouble for those working on the walls. Intimidation has moved to the next level, opposition. Hindi mo bring intimidation, opposition. And this new step was intentionally planned to create paralyzing fear. And once Israel heard about this new step up plan, pansinin niyo po, now fear affected them. Naapektuhan ng sila. Nagkaroon sila ng takot. Kaya sabi na, the strength leaves them in first part of verse number 10. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed. Nanghina, nawala na yung lakas. Pangalawa, they are overwhelmed now with the task to finish. Second part of verse number 10, ano sabi? There is much rubbish, so that we are unable to build the wall. Nakakalahati na nga eh. And then in verse 11, they state that they are sure they are all going to die. And our adversary said, they shall not know, neither see, till we come in the midst among them, and slay them, and cause the work to cease. And finally, verse 12, ano sabi? They panic. And notice now who is saying words of discouragement. And it came to pass, verse 12, that when the Jews which dwelt by them came, they said unto us 10 times, for from all places whence ye shall return unto us, they will be upon you. So now, sino nag-exaggerate ng problema? Ang Israel na. Sila na ang nag-exaggerate ng problema nila. They were only dwelling on their fears. That's the 10 times over. Comment. No doubt, they had worked hard and were really tired. And this makes them vulnerable to a new wave of discouragement and fear. Notice, brothers and sisters, that even when we have moved on in faith, we can stumble again partway through if we allow fear back in. No? Ang nakakalungkot iba nalampasan na yung pagsubok na yun, nalampasan na yung problema na yun, napagtagumpay na yung takot na yun, o medyo nag-relax. Tapos, almost the same problem, almost the same discouragement, almost the same threat, dun babaksak, dun matatakot. Fear does not give up easily. And it likes to make return visits. Hindi basta masusuko ang takot, ang pananakot, ang discouragement. Mayroon niyang pagbabalik. At look at verses 13 to 14, the persistence of faith. Kung merong persistence of fear, meron din persistence of faith. Ano sabi? 13 and 14, therefore said I, the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families with their swords and their spears and their bows. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. So yung salita dito, no? Therefore, ano yung sabihin ng therefore doon sa verse number 13? It introduces a step to take action. Fear would not defeat Nehemiah. Rather than sit down and quit, ang sabi ko ng Bible, Nehemiah starts making plans. Kung nagplano, gumawa ng plano at sinagawa ng kalaban yung plano nila na naka-apekto sa bayan, at hindi sila tumigil, hindi sila umupo na lang, hindi sila sumuko, ganun din ang ginawa ni Nehemiah. Hindi siya sumuko, hindi siya tumigil, hindi siya nagpatalo, nagplano rin siya to still finish the wall. You see, faith has its own persistence and a greater strength than fear. Kasi yung verse number 9, yung formula for dealing with the next wave of fear. Diba, takot tayo sa next wave of pandemic. Gusto natin next wave of relief goods. Pero merong next wave of fear. Ano sabi? Verse 9, nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our God and set watch against them day and night because of them. Ano yung ginawa? Ano yung formula? We prayed unto God. Ano pa? We posted a guard. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Faith plus action again. Diba? We prayed unto God. Faith. Tapos may action. Posted a guard. Again, faith plus action. Ano magiging resulta? Success. Faith plus action will once again result to success. In other words, brothers and sisters, it is not enough to just pray, or just act. It is not enough to act, just act. There must be done in concert with each other. Kailangan pareho yan, magkasama yan. In verse 14, nakita natin yung twofold dynamic again. Anong sabi diyan? Verse 14, and I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. Dalawa. Ano yan? Remember the Lord, fight for your brethren. Kapatid, no? Ganyan dapat tayo. Pag tayo dinidiscourage, tayo tinatakot, tayo inudyukan, tumigil ng dyablo. Alam natin ating Panginoon, hindi siya sumusuko sa atin. Hindi siya tumitigil. Karapat dapat siya. Hindi lang sa ating minsanang paglilingkod at pagsamba at pagtitiwala, kundi sa ating patuloy na paglilingkod, pagsamba at pagtitiwala. And remember the brethren, alalahanin mo yung gawain ng Diyos, ang mga kapatiran. Alalahanin mo yung pamilya mo. Pag ikaw tumigil, you're giving a bad message to them. Na yung Diyos na pilit mo sinishare sa kanila, ay mukhang mahihinang Diyos, mukhang bigong Diyos. So, alalahanin natin yan. Paano yung gawain ng Panginoon? May maitutulong ka, kailangan ka sa gawain. Pero kung papatalo ka sa diablo dahil sa problema, dahil walang trabaho, dahil sa ibang karamdaman at ano pa man, mga pan-discouragement niya, anong ibig mong palabas? Hindi ka kaya tulungan ng Panginoon. Okay lang sa iyo mawasak ang gawain, apektuhan ang gawain. Okay lang sa iyo pumunta sa impyerno yung pamilya dahil hindi na maganda ang iyong patutuo. Yan ang hindi naintindihan ibang nagpapakilala ng Kristiyano eh. Nalala ko yung isang piso ko, dating nag-workbook, nakasama pa natin dito eh. Nangyari na nahihilig sa sabong, naloko ni Eli Soriano. So nung last time makausap ko, buti ilang anak niya, nag-asawa ng Katoliko, buti ilang anak niya nag-church. Pero pinipigilan, gusto sumunod sa bautismo. Pinipigilan ng anak, kinamusap ko siya. Sabi ko, alam mo, nagkaaral ka sa itanan ng Diyos, alam mo yung tungkol sa impyerno. Yung mga anak mo lalaki, na hindi niwala sa Diyos, pupunta sa impyerno. Yung asawa mo pupunta sa impyerno. Minsan hindi iniisip ng Kristiyano yan. Yung effect, minsan problema pa sa Diyos, sa pamilya pa dinadamay. Kaya yung naisip ng pamilya, nako, church na yan, puro hypocrite dyan, masamang tao dyan. Dahil lang sa kanyang pride, minsan siya na ang mali, idadamay niya pa yung pamilya niya. May mga tatay na ganyan, may mga magulang na ganyan. Kakalat ka rin. Kasama nila kahit na sila yung mali. Dahil sa pride. Pero mapapride ka rin talaga. Nakikinig po. So notice that once again Nehemiah redirects their fear of the enemy into constructive action. Fight for your brethren. Fight for the Lord. Fight for your families. And what greater motivation can there be other than praising the Lord and protecting your home? They were not to forget the great God they served and their loved ones that needed protection. Nehemiah realizes that only a motivation that joins them all together will make them successful. They must all work together. Ito gusto gawin ng diablo, pag-iwahiwalayin tayo eh. Kasi ito sa inyo, hindi pa magawa umaten sa online, hindi makapag-focus sa online. At iba kung nakomportable na sa online, samantalang pwede ka na doon lumito. Ulitin ko, nakapasok ka na sa trabaho, kung saan ka na nakapunta, tagal sa palengke. Sa church, hindi ka pwede. Mukhang nagtagumpay yung diablo. Ang gawa niya, ipasara simbahan. Upang magkasama-sama at hindi mangyari yung pagtutulungan. Noong 1957, sample. Okay, 1957, mga kapatid. Laban natin dito, battery. Ano nangyari? Yung pong church sa Sarasota, Florida. Meron po silang groundbreaking service. Alam yung groundbreaking, di ba? So, magtatayo sila ng building, gagawin nila, may seremonya sila yan. Ang normal na ginagawa, may mga officers, may hawak na, kaya mga donors, may hawak na pala, uhukay doon, yung groundbreaking. Pero ito iba. Ang ginawa po nila, pumili sila ng lumang pang-araro. Ano yung mga araro, di ba? So they use the words of Jesus, take my yoke upon you. So bumili rin sila, unang hiram sila ng pamatok. Alam mo yung pamatok? Di ba? Kaya ganun yung sa pagsasakay. Nakapamatok yung kalabaw, o bakaw, kabayo, tapos may araro, di ba? Tapos yun, ang susud-sud sa lupa, bubungkalan lupa. Kaya dito, tao. Tao, sila, yung mga officer. Sila. Ayaw umantar mo ng araro. Ang bigat ng lupa. Tumulong na iba. Ayaw pa rin, ayaw di man lang kumilos. Tumulong pa iba. Alam nyo, mensahe na siguro ito talaga ng lahat na ng member nagtulong-tulong. Walang isa na hindi tumulong. Lahat sila. Doon lang umandar yung araro. Pero pala kalakas ang kalabaw, ano? Napakagandang mensahe. Di ba? Napakagandang mensahe. Kung lahat ay magtutulong-tulungan, magkakaisa, may mangyayari. May magagawa. If they were too tired to fight and work on for themselves, then they needed to realize they weren't doing it just for themselves, but for the next generation. Ano mang improvement, ano mang gagawin nating proyekto, ano mang ating mga pinagpipray, hindi lang para sa ating mga member ngayon. Hindi para sa susunod na henerasyon. Yung mga bata ngayon, mga tinuturuan nyo, doon nakapokus tayo sa magiging anak nyo, sa mga susunod na henerasyon. So sabi ni Pastor Lawrence Makawili, gusto ko sinabi niya, siya ba yun o si Pastor Mendoza ata? Ipatayo sila ng building, plano na hanggang 2nd floor pa. Pero may abang hanggang 3rd floor to 4th floor. Sabi niya, sa susunod na pastor na bahala nyo. Sa susunod na henerasyon na yun. May nakalaan for the next generation. Ito ang pinanghamon ni Nehemiah. Hindi lang sarili nyo, pagod na kayo. So, gusto nyo mangyari, palaboy rin, kalat din, gaya natin, ngayon, at yun din ang mamanahin ng susunod na henerasyon. Think of the next generation, mga kapatid. Kayo nasa online at kayo nandito, think of the next generation. Do you quit and give in too easily to fear, to discouragement? What are we teaching the next generation? Fight for your families. And don't forget God. Fight for the next generation. Don't forget God. He is great and awesome. Last but not the least, tapusin natin. Mahaba pa ito, pero last but not the least, our fruit will be clear. Our fruit will be clear. No? Siya hindi dapat tumigil. Ang sabi ni Nehemiah, we're doing a great work. The Lord's work is a great work. So, babasahin ko mabilis, pero tingnan ninyo, chapter 4, verse 3 to 23, remaining verses na ng chapter 4. Patapos na tayo. It came to pass when our enemies heard that it was known unto us, and God had brought their counsel to naught, that we returned all of us to the wall, every one unto his work. And it came to pass from the time forth that the half of my servants wrought the work, and the other half of them held both the spears, the shields, and the bows, and the habergeons, and the rulers were behind all the house of Judah. They which builded on the wall, and they that bare burdens, with those that laden every one with one of his hands, wrought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon. So habang itatrabaho, may weapon pa, no? For the builders, everyone had his sword gilded by his side, so builded, and he that sounded the trumpet was by me. 19. And I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. In what place, therefore, ye hear the sound of the trumpet, the sword ye thither, unto us our God shall fight for us. 21, so we labored in the work, and half of them held the spears from the rising of the morning till the stars appeared. Likewise, at the same time said I unto the people, let every one with his servant lodge within Jerusalem, that in the night they may be a guard to us and labor on the day. So neither I, nor my brethren, nor my servants, nor the men of the guard which followed me, none of us put off our clothes, saving that everyone put them off for washing. Chapter 6, 15 to 16, isa sa ating key verses. So the wall was finished in the 25th day of the month Elul, in 52 days. And it came to pass, verse 16, that when all enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, they were much cast down in their own eyes. For they perceived, listen, they perceived that this work was wrought of God. Take notice of the triumph of faith. Verses 15 to 23. Bumaliktad na yung table, no? The enemy had first discouraged them and created fear. Now, it was the other way around. While it was Nehemiah that found out the plans and had made plans to post guards, notice, however, who gives the credit, who they give the credit to. Okay? Who he gives the credit to. In verse 15, kanina nga, kinrebe ko sa Diyos. And God had brought their counsel to know. Okay, verse 15. Kanina nga kinrebe ko sa Diyos. The original vision of just building. Yun ang plano niya eh. Seems so simple, building, pero they didn't know there was going to be so many complications along the way. And yet, they stuck to the vision in spite of the surprises that came. Gusto mo lang maligtas eh. Gusto mo lang muna sa langit eh. Pero naging Kristyano ka, kailangan mo palang magpa-member. Kung member ka, kailangan mo palang maging kapo. Kung member ka, kailangan mo palang lagi mag-church. Kung naging member, hindi mo alam, daming komplikasyon. At gusto mo lang magkaroon ng kapayapaan eh. Pero naging Kristyano ka, ang daming tukso, ang daming pagsubok, ang daming pag-uusig. Quit ka na. Tanging akala niya simple pag-build lang. Hindi nila alam yung mga komplikasyon. Pero ito maganda sa nila. Tuloy lang. Ganun din ba tayo? Meron ba tayong renewed strength? Parang lalong lumakas. Nagkaroon sila ng lakas eh. Balik ng kalakasan. Lahat nagtulong-tulong. They continue building. Marami na akong lalaktuan dito. So some adjustments have to be made to the original vision. Working in shifts with a sword in one hand and a block in the other was the original idea, but they would get it done one way or another. Ang daming nagkaroon na adjustment. Imbis na normal pupunta sa church, kailangan nating pag-online, kailangan nating may internet, kailangan natin signal, kailangan magbayad ng data. May adjustments. All this new stuff would only make them stronger. And may this pandemic make us stronger. Panginoon. And take notice of the trophy of faith to the last two verses na binasa natin, chapter 6, verses 15 to 16, the trophy of faith. Natapos nila yung wall. The entire wall was finished. In how many days? 52 days. 100 taon, walang nagtangka. 100 taon na nakabilad doon, nawasak. Pero natapos in 52 days. What a trophy to their faith. They could have quit They could have mumbled around in fear. They could have felt sorry for themselves. But they didn't. They pressed on in faith until they had their trophy for all to see. The tables are turned, looking at what this verse says about the enemy. Sabi sa verse 16, the enemies were afraid. The enemies lost their self-confidence. Nakabaliktad na. Their enemies realized that Israel had God's help with them. Because the Israelites, headed by Nehemiah, they remembered the Lord. And the Lord remembered them. There's no reason to be afraid. No more fear. It is amazing what God can do with someone that will not cave in to fear. Allow me to close with this illustration. Ito na illustration. Cripple him and you have Sir Walter's staff. Lock him in a prison cell and you have a John Bunyan. Lilignan, di ata makita. Bury him in the snows of Valley Purge and you have a George Washington. Raise him in abject poverty and you have an Abraham Lincoln. Strike him down with infantile paralysis and he becomes Franklin Roosevelt. Burn him so severely that the doctor say he'll never walk again, and you have Glenn Cunningham who set the world record for 1-mile run in 1934. Deafen him and you have Ludwig van Beethoven. Having born in a society filled with racism, and you have a Booker T. Washington, a Marian Anderson, and a George Washington Carver. Call him a slow learner or retarded, and write him off as uneducable. And you have an Albert Einstein. They said life is 20% what happens to us, and 80% of the way we respond to events. When you are afraid, do two things. Brothers and sisters, do two things. Remember the Lord. Post a guard, plan, and work. These two things will make us invincible and can cause the enemy of our soul to quake in fear instead of us quaking in fear. Keep building, keep serving, keep worshiping, keep doing the Lord's will, keep obeying the Lord's word, even if this means new responsibilities. New responsibilities that we didn't anticipate when we first began in faith. Pero alamin natin ang Panginoon, mga kapatid, and be ready to work, be ready to fight. So in conclusion, anong ginagawa mo, kapatid ko? Kayo na narito, nasa online, when the voices of discouragement and fear shout louder than the still small voice of God, the still small voice of faith. Kasi si Nehemiah, paulit-ulit attacked by fear. But he attacked fear in return with two pronged angle. Remember the Lord and fight. In other words, faith and action. If we do this, we don't have to be afraid. But the enemy sure will be. We don't need to be afraid. Walang dahilan. Hindi natin kailangan matakot. All we need is God. To trust God. We must trust the Lord. Ito ang salita ng Panginoon. Ay kung lahat ay tumayo at ay magbakas sa panalangin.